good. Good evening everyone and welcome to the Toy Collectors Chat. You haven't seen me before, but I'm Phil, also known as Philthy, and obviously you know these two from before. We've got Progers.
Tim,
a man of many words.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Until he gets going though.
There we go, yeah. So we just want to kick it off. We're going to be doing a giveaway, aren't we?
We are. Anyone watching today, if you pair us your favourite bits from your collections, we're going to gander through them, and our favourite one, we'll send you an Ecto one. This is one that we have actually tinkered with. We did take the light system out the roof rack, but the rest of it is still all completely packaged up. It just won't flash anymore. But this is what we get left over when we do our custom builds.
so if any of you got any kiddies out there, I suppose it's a good way to start your...
Yeah, it's an amazing start to collection here. You've still got a pristine box, and it's just those bits missing. But
it's just literally, it doesn't light up, but everything else there. Send us in your pictures, send us in your best bits from your collection, and we'll pick one.
Yeah, they're going for a couple of quid on eBay, so you never know, you could get a... Oh, not saying you should sell stuff on, but you know, it's good for the collection anyway. Okay?
I'm not being rude, but having a beer, it's 8 o'clock.
There you go, he's beer o'clock, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right, so what do you want to talk about, Timby?
I got a few bits. I think most of my stuff might come across a little bit underwhelming after you see what these lads have got, but most of my stuff is loose at home. I never really concentrated on like minting box stuff. I just concentrated on stuff I either had as a kid or, you know, stuff I wanted as a kid.
Well, that's the difference between us, isn't it? Well, you've got, say, Phil, for instance, everything has to be boxed, perfect, unpunched. It's just...
I like it mint as. I mean, I know toys are meant to be played with, but I like to reminisce about the past, man, and have the packaging as well as a toy. I think that's quite important, yeah. But still, I'm sure you'll disagree.
As for me, I really collect things that I'm just interested in, characters that I like, different storylines, different comics and stuff like that. And we was actually discussing comics earlier, and we will do a show about that because we've all got some nice comics.
Yeah, we'll talk about the CGC side of things, aren't we, about the grade and that as well, so we'll cover that another time.
So, where's that?
This one I got.
First piece.
This was a gift off that clown over there. It's the Masterpiece Prime Ghostbusters crossover. I have had it out the box and transformed it, but it's a transformer. You can't have a transformer.
It is pretty cool that the box is actually a Proton pack as well.
And not transformed.
With straps.
Yeah, so you can actually wear it properly, can't you?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I would.
Well, no.
You can if you want to.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, if anyone out there knows the Masterpiece line, it's a nice line, but it's a pricey one, so that's kind of why I've never really focused on it. It's all pretty expensive stuff, but it's nice stuff.
So how much is one of these?
As well, though, haven't you?
I think they're going for about 150, something like that, which is quite good. It's got everything that the G1 had, just bigger and better.
And Ghostbusted. Yeah, you have got Ecto 1 as well, haven't you? And that's a pretty cool piece.
Yeah,
it actually fits in the back as well, which is good.
The new Ectotron, I've got that.
Nice piece, man.
Very nice.
It's nice because it's in the box, looking neat.
Yeah. Unlike most of Tim's stuff,
yeah. Unlike most of Tim's stuff. That's a nice piece, man.
Very nice.
Well, the tape's broke, which is...
You mean you cut it open to transform it like a child? And Phil was at home crying when he heard about it, so...
Never mind, though. Right, what else you got?
Next, I've got a minting box. Henry.
Yeah. That
one's brewing. Hang on.
When you look at this stuff, in all fairness, I know it's open and stuff like that, and it's played with, but as Tim said,
I also go with this one. I know it's loose and it's got no accessories, but this is a fine piece that I've now got in my collection. I don't know if this is a Go line or a Lion bot. I'm not too familiar with the line. I know one of them was a knockoff.
It's heavy, man.
Yeah, most of it's like die cast, which you don't really get in toys today.
Well, it's quality gear from when we were younger.
And I think a lot of them were recalled for lead poisoning, apparently.
Nice.
I think there's a lot of lead in the paint, so hopefully this isn't one of them. But yeah, all the, if anyone knows this line, if I can get it off, all the limbs pull off and change into their own cats. Very
actually remember you having that as a kid, to be fair.
Very nice toy. If anyone out there's got it.
Do you get many in that range? Is there many? Because I didn't do
Yeah, I think
Transformers. when I
they
was
did a
younger.
few different versions and different sizes. I think that was possibly the biggest one.
I thought the face moved up then, but
Okay, that's a nice piece, man.
pretty cool.
Sound?
Well, it's like Christmas, isn't it?
Like Christmas when your mate's
Oh,
house.
he loves his Starcom. Oh, absolutely loves it.
Don't know if anyone knew the Starcom line. Came in a few different ships and robots. The box is a bit knocked about, but trying to find it in a box is not too easy. So it hasn't got the insert either. But
Well, we had one of these knocking around here, didn't we, not long back?
yeah, it was another one. Of mine,
Weird thing that
nice
happened is Tim put a bunch of things that he was going to try and get white again, using the different bleaching methods and stuff like that. We was going to start trying them. Tim actually put them in a recyclable bag, carrier bag. When he actually opened them, everything inside had been melted, like it was a chemical reaction. It was one of the weirdest things we'd actually seen.
So don't do that then,
deformed
basically.
the front of it, and it was, and there's other stuff in there, so you had to get it out.
Very nice looking sword.
We weren't able to get ours out.
No, no, that's a
Switch
touch
at
out.
the side, pops out the canopy. Another one for the canopy at the front. It's got nice side guns at the side, and the compartment at the back opens very slowly.
Are there many of these still knocking around?
Yeah, there's a few of them about, but usually to find them with all the rear bombs and the side guns is usually quite difficult to find them in that condition. Like usually they're missing something. So
Well, the figure that's in the front, he stands on parts of the ship, does he, like
Yeah,
a
the figure in the
magnetic
front.
sections?
magnets on the boots. I'll stick to them. Magnets, that's pretty cool. Yeah, nice piece.
Yeah, nice piece, definitely.
So that's one of the keepers, yeah? One thing you'll be keeping and leaving for Philthy in your will, yeah?
He does actually have some cardigan and box stuff in there, to buy this.
Here we go, there's always some good
Well,
stuff.
yeah, it's nice, to be fair, this is nice.
Another nice one. In a fairly mint box.
That's
Anyone
something
knows the
Jesus.
Zoids. Trying to find them.
Has a price tag on it though, which me personally, I don't like that on mine. You don't mind it.
So
No, I don't
mind,
I think it's actually the authenticity in it.
it's part of the history of it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
But
mind
yeah,
that.
these are nice. I remember this from when we were young as well.
Just trying to find them completes, a nightmare because of the small bits. If you know the Zoids, obviously you have to build them. So that's all mint in box, all sealed. So that's quite a nice piece. It isn't the Tommy one. This is the Italian version, so it's the Palistil, if I pronounce that right. It's like the equivalent of the Tommy. It's the same, but it's the,
You'll get a lot like that when you're like with the was it Tyco and Toybies?
Yeah, that's it.
Stuff for anything from America to Europe is.
Well, X-Men was
Seems
that.
to be
You either
different.
got X-Men characters on Toybies or school cars. You see that, like especially actually up there. There's a Tyco one. I don't know if you see that high up. But a
That's right.
Tyco back jet there. And then as you look up, then some of Toybies. So there's a difference in those.
I've got a couple more at home. I've got Zoidzilla and Red Horn. They're not boxed. They're just loose, but I think they're complete.
Was this a series?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, the Zoids and the Zoids too, and I think they just kind of repeated a lot of them, but just did them in different colours. Like this one came with silver or gold.
Phil was a couple of years younger than me and Tim, so that's where things changed. We was watching cartoons earlier, and we got He-Man and Thundercats on. Whereas Phil, he was watching Ghostbusters and Turtles. So, and a couple of years difference, but just shows that the toy waves in those few years
Yeah,
changed.
they do differ, don't they?
Yeah, that's a nice
Yeah,
piece.
that's a good piece, man.
Couple of little pieces. Not rare, but like, I don't know if anyone knows these. That was Rough Riders, and that's a Knight Rider kit one. That's sealed on the card. Plastic's a little bit yellow. It's
Yeah,
unpunched.
Tim's got an unpunched there. Oh,
That's pretty good for
Which
Timbo.
is
that
nice,
is.
but it's a bit yellow, so that's not one for you, is it, Phil?
It's not one for me, but it's an LJ, nice piece. It's an old piece. I think it was signed by Hasselhoff, maybe. There you go. That'd make it more of interest. But that's a nice piece. You got the collector set on the back there as well. pretty cool to get. Have you got the one of this? Or have you got
Yeah, I've got the same again loose, but
Okay.
I haven't got. It's just another one I had as a kid.
You got the 18 band that on the back.
Yeah, you got the 18 round. There's also Face's vet as well. We know that Face will be at one of the Comic Con soon as well. I think he was due one, or I know because the epidemic things have altered, but he was due to come up to one soon. So
Yeah, it takes a battery with a little switch on the top, so it kind of drives along, which is.
We have got some
pretty
really nice A-team stuff in our online shop, so have a look at that. They're actually from Phil's personal collection.
yeah, so they are boxed. I believe they're on punch as well. But you have the the 4-figure set of the 18, the 4-figure set of the bad guys, and we will due to be getting the Face signed Funko Pop as well.
Actually, I might be buying a carded Murdoch from that place you stayed at, actually.
There we go. So it's always worth it. Carded again, good lad. Good lad.
We're rubbing off on him.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone knows this line, Tacky Stretch Old Warriors. I don't think it was a big line, to be honest, because I collared this from like a cheapy toy shop in, I think I was on in Cornwall, I think, donkeys years ago. You don't get many of them back, but I did manage to collar that one. It's kind of like, if you remember that crazy sticky stuff that you chuck up the wall and it stick on the wall.
Flop down.
Yeah, they climb down the wall.
It's a similar thing, but it's got like plastic arm that you can put around it.
It's made by Bandai as well, which is it's a pretty good company really. You don't need much of Bandai really, yeah.
I think it was just a failed line that just never really took off, I think.
But a lot of people like that for the collection, so
Yeah,
it's
it is
old
nice.
fashioned, a
It's
bit more vintage in it.
That's it. When you think is when you had things as a kid yourself, that's what you want. You want to have things that you own and then look at it again.
Yeah, exactly.
You just don't get the appeal of ripping it open and having it. So,
Nice piece.
Probably the holy grail of my collection, if anyone knows it. Box is immensely knocked about, and Megatron himself's a bit battered, loose, flimsy as anything. But
do you stand for that top floor?
I'm just chuffed to have that in my collection because I know how difficult they are
Yeah, lovely.
to get hold of. Nightmare.
So, we know when people talk about G1 Transformers, what's the difference between that and anything else?
Well, G1 was like, it wasn't the age, it was the sort of the first wave of them that came out, sort of thing. So it does get confusing when you talk about G1 because you're sort of referring to the age, but it was basically like the first wave, and then you had G2.
The thing is, you can buy duplicate boxes and everything now, can't you?
Well, I think the thing is you get a lot of knockoffs, don't you? And that's the difficulty for eBay buyers, especially when they're trying to buy stuff.
I do have a knockoff Prime at home, I will admit, but I only had that just because I just wanted it in the box, you know, a Prime in the box. But yeah, that can be. If you actually have the knockoff Prime, the difference is like insane. They're so cheap, the knockoffs. You know, there's no way you can't know the difference. But
the thing is, you can have problems shipping these as well because of what's actually in there.
Yeah, I mean, shipping from overseas, it's a bit of a nightmare because obviously it's
pretty much looks what it is.
Yeah, there's ways of getting around customs charge, isn't there? Which between obviously yourselves and the sellers. But that's a conversation which I think you need to have yourselves.
Yeah, we'll cover that on another episode.
Yeah, we'll go for that because we've got some nice little tricks for you to get a bit of a cheaper import fee, and it's all legal.
I do have a few more Transformers at home, but they're all loose, and I do have a reissue Prime as well, about 2002, which I think now can be a bit of a nightmare for knowing which is the which is an original and which is a reissue. But there's slight differences with the pipe stacks and the wheels and things. But
what was the Prime that we was looking at to do that custom? It was a weird. You named it straight away when we looked at the picture. You went, that's for the Light Industries. Like Mega Prime on so it was a different version of Battle Prime.
I can't remember that.
No. Okay, well when we do remember it, we'll come back to it. Trust me. Okay, that's a nice piece, man.
But we are getting old and stuff like that, and we just
He's saving the best till last. I know. I was going to say this. He's got a nice piece. He's going to bring it last.
I'll bring these out, but I don't know if anyone was.
I was impressed with him when I seen him earlier.
That's the complete Series 1. There's a couple of sealed packs, one from Series 1 and one from Series 2, sealed. But yeah, I'm quite chuffed to have.
Are these quite popular, would you say? Because I mean, I used to collect these back in the day.
I only found out today when talking to Tim that there's 2 of each card, and each card you got, for instance here, can't let you show.
if you knew it, you'd know what I'm talking about. You can see the same character but two different names. But yeah, they're.
Obviously, you got an American card there, which is like a press out of the card. It's got a shape on it as well.
Yeah, I made a mistake when I bought that one. I didn't know it was an American one until it.
The thing is, it's still a nice thing to have as a comparison there.
Very nostalgic for it. That's basically what I've got it.
It reminds me of junior school with Tim.
Back in the day. Yeah, back
Too
in the
far
day.
Back in the day.
And the two pieces that I do have graded, which were also gifts off that one at the end, both mail-aways.
That's your Mum Ra mail away, made by LJN, sorry.
From the Cash Mum Ra, yeah, so you could only get that by
Hey, in all fairness.
sending off for it.
What's
Yeah,
that?
so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the grading process in a little bit when Tim's showed you a couple of pieces, but this one here, if you can just see on the tag, it's got a U and then 85. That means that they unboxed this at the graders to display it like this. So this went to them in the box from the mailway packaging, and then it was displayed by UKG. So
It's part of the thing that does frustrate me a bit about the whole grading. I mean, they've literally taken it out of a
What's a plain cardboard box?
out of the what's it,
Out of the package.
grade,
but yeah, then you get a lower mark.
straight into grading, and it's got a low mark. I'm not.
Well, it's
really
not a
too
low
up on
mark. That's
grading,
actually a good mark for.
And 85 is pretty good. I mean, like you said, we'll talk about it in a second, but I mean, UK graders are quite tight with the grading, which will make them quite sought after. But that's a nice mark for that.
It is definitely.
It's a nice case where we get it in.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I've never focused on grading that much, but I do like how they look. They are a
They're
nice
good
case.
display pieces.
Yeah, great for displays. Great for displays. Alright, we got last piece.
Cream of the crop.
And the other piece, also a gift, also a mail away. Not too familiar with it. I think it was about 2012, I think.
Yeah, it's part of the vintage collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, mail away box there. This was opened again by UKG, but this is probably one of the highest grades I've seen on mine personally.
I've never seen this 95 gold, which I reckon is basically them saying we want to give it 100 but we can't
Yeah, because it's been taken.
because you've been taken out the box maybe. But I mean the card, the blister and the figure all 95, and I mean it's mint, mate. Isn't it?
Even the outer box is mint.
Yeah, it's it's few and far between to get one in that condition.
I mean, you've been looking recently on eBay and stuff just for that.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be going. It's kind of varied, but like even just the carded figure alone, not that it matters, but yeah, I mean they seem to be fetching quite a high mark. But I've only ever seen one other graded, and it didn't have the mail away box, the white mail away box with it. So
This could be
Oh,
one of a
quite
kind
nice.
that's been graded, to be fair. So.
I think we've always said the same thing though, is that it's only worth what people want to pay for.
Yeah.
Um,
There is a lot of Star Wars fans though, so with,
Yeah.
with Mandalorian coming out as well, it's probably boosted the price now. But it's,
Yeah.
great piece.
it's a nice piece that is, man. Anything else you got in your box of goodies, or is that it?
that is me. I've got a couple of minting box NES games, but I think I'll leave that until we're probably going to do at a later date. Maybe even start doing some playthroughs, but at a later date start maybe talking about computer games. We'll leave that.
Yeah,
We'll
we're
leave
still
that
quite
for
fresh
now.
at the moment, so the main thing is we just want to do videos on one thing at a time, and then we'll let you guys sort of message us on what you
Tim
want
is
to find out.
actually a big collector of games and stuff like that. So if you Mega Drive, NES, stuff like that, it's like Tim's our go-to guy to ask. So he has got a pretty good collection.
Yeah, it's not massive, but it's
It's
nice.
it's nice.
So you got a good bit of knowledge as well, so if there's anything that you guys wanted to know, feel free to ask us, because we can let you know, certainly. All good, yeah? I'll hand you that back.
That is me.
Okay.
It's that time like when you actually see like Phil's collection. It's like
Yeah, so
you got some good shit there, to be fair.
yeah, so I mean, with mine, I do get them taken at me that I have a lot of my stuff in boxes, so usually mint on card, just because I enjoy the toys as much as I enjoy the packaging. Because it just makes me relive my youth, which was many years ago.
It's not just that, it keeps the value as well, doesn't it? So
It
it's,
does, yeah,
as
yeah.
time goes on.
So what I've got here is just a couple of pieces from the collection, so we'll show you a few of these. So when I first started collecting figures, I wanted to go for the most sought after. So I went through 1988 Palatoy Hawks, which got signed by Lou Ferrigno. We've got a Dick Tracy the blank, which was graded, but a few of my personal favourites. You got one here. So this is a glass-like MacGyver, so it's a Brazilian MacGyver. Obviously all in Brazilian, which I think is what, Portuguese or Spanish at the back. But this one, unfortunately, we got signed by Richard Dean Anderson, and I think there's an interesting point to this one. The figure was packaged incorrectly. Now, when I got chatting to...
That's about what it is, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legs on back to front, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. His legs are back to front.
So
yeah.
when I got talking to Richard Dean Anderson at the, what is it, Wales or Telford Comic Con, who signed this for me, and he has only ever signed, from his memory, one of the pieces from this. And I think it was, you get a elastic band, you get a paper clip, proper random stuff. The full collection is obviously what's available is on the back there, but he could remember, and neither could his agent remember signing one of these. We've got two of these, and one of them is going to be sold, so keep an eye out for that, and we'll disclose information.
Both of them by Phil, though, obviously. So
yeah,
he's got one with the legs back to front, one with the legs right, and they're both these and both signed.
And both graded. Yeah. So this is graded at 65, so this is quite low, but I think for the year and that one itself, there's
and
not
the rarity,
many in the world.
though. Yeah,
the rarity is quite high. You can go onto Google and look at the most rare figures available. Obviously, I know usually it's your Action Man, which is worth like about $1 million. I think the last one sold for the very first one, but these ones are pretty sharp. Okay, so we had that one. Number two. Okay, so back in the day, I used to love my wrestling, and I had virtually every wrestling figure. No, I had the whole collection carded, which I sold about 4 years ago. Yeah, it's quite a while back. But the one major piece I had to keep was the SummerSlam edition of the Hasbro Dusty Rhodes, and this one is actually signed by Dusty himself. So we've got proof of that, which I haven't got with me. It's on a Polaroid actually, so it's a pretty old photo. That's signed by Dusty. That was graded at that's UKG 70. It has got the slight split on the foot, unfortunately, which you'll find over a lot of Dusties.
From that, though,
yeah, there's a gentleman called Rene Hajek who's off the World Wrestling Federation Facebook page. He's a good lad. He knows everything about them, and he can answer a lot of questions about this. But yeah, that's one of my grails, and I think my other two, which I think are quite difficult to get. I used to love the Turtles, so Turtles was definitely my bag, and as a present, I had both of these, and these are the
very random but very rare.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, these are so rare now. If you go on eBay tonight, look for worldwide, it'd be difficult to find these. Go on. So that's the Mighty Bebop and the Mighty Bebop variant. One is slightly yellowed, but you can't really tell. I know, yeah, shocking, but yeah, that one graded at 80, this one, and then the yellow attachment was graded at a Y80, but amazing pieces. These are about, I don't know, about £400 a pop, ungraded.
Just so you can have a purple weapon and an orange weapon.
Yeah, so you can see the two. Obviously, when I have these on display, they'll be taken out the bags, but yeah, I'm a bit of a geek. I like to keep things nice and neat. But we'll bring out some more of the Gospels anyway, and the Grails later on, and we will be selling some on our page as well. So if there's anything that you're after, then let us know. Okay.
We're looking forward to seeing Phil's collection probably, because he's just in the middle of building his own one at home. So it's going to be a good size, and his Turtles collection alone is pretty epic, to be fair.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, man. It's pretty nice. It's all good on the home insurance, so fingers crossed when I need to use it. I think one of the things...
you picked on a couple of things then, didn't you, for the graders, which you got Y for yellowing.
Yeah.
We was going through G for gold, obviously, so we're going to try and work through and tell you a couple of things about grading.
Yeah, you know, with the graders, there's been a lot of posts lately on Facebook about should they have stuff graded or not. What do you reckon about grading?
I mean, it's personal preference, really, I think. I mean, I grade mine, so one, they're protected because I'm pretty clumsy with all my stuff and I move it around and have it on display, so actually having it in a case is one of the big bonuses for me, I would have thought. And I tend to have most of my stuff that's graded has been signed, so it also does as proof of signature, and stuff like that. So, what have I got over here? Let's have a look. I'll show a couple of like graded things, and I can show the on site. So we've got.
Well, this is all graded by UKG, which are UK graders. Now, you can, I think there's CAS and AFA, which are the main graders in America, but it's only really the UKG which will do the UK grading. The price have gone up recently.
There is a bit of a backlog on it as well for sending in, so if you've got anything going into UKG, you are probably going to wait a while to receive it.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is, a lot of, especially Americans, they like the UK grading because they're a bit tight on the grades.
UKG are very more stringent on the grades they give against the others, so if you've got something that's an 80 by UKG, that's probably been 90 by somebody else. So UKG are generally more sought after for grading. Right, so what we're going to show you on here is this is the movie Venom figure, which is a nice piece anyway. That's been Tom Hardy signed, and if I can show you on here, you can see they actually verify with your proof that it was signed by that person, etc. So even that is a new figure that was out last year, and he's received an 85, and it was mint. So any signature really going to be looking at least a 10% knock off your grade because you've defaced it by signing it. So there's one.
Yeah, now
So,
some people love things signed, and some people.
Yeah, well that's it.
Figure
Exactly.
now,
That's the other thing. It's a
It's
signing.
a fault on it.
Yeah, it's a fault on it, basically having a signature. So we've got, there's your sign things. You've got, Phil's already told you about Y for yellowing. You've got gold, which Tim's got over there. Now I've got quite a nice set. Your Spider-Man 1 Goblins.
Now, who signed these for you?
They're all signed by William Dafoe. So, but I've got every one from the full wave. So it was 3 series of Spider-Man ran. So I've got this one, another one, 2 more up in the cabinet. They're all signed, all graded. But unfortunately, on these, when I sent them off, I didn't notice it, but UKG picked up on the fact that the packaging itself, so it actually touched up the black before I bought it.
It's a bit, you wouldn't know that if you was buying it off eBay, though, would you?
That's it, you wouldn't see, because literally the little white specks that you get on the spine where it's been slightly knocked, someone had coloured them in with a marker pen, and for that reason I got an NG, which is obviously not graded because it's been tampered with, so they can't prove the proof. So unfortunately 2 of mine come back like that, which the other one I've got here, but then the other 2 actually hadn't been touched up, and I got decent grades on them, so that gives you your ungraded. What other ones was there?
Well, yeah, so you'll have obviously the non-grade ones for those. You got white for yellowing, U for unboxed, so you'll have with the Mumra.
That was what was on Mumra. They unboxed it.
Yeah. So that they will do. They will always notify. The best thing is with UK graders is it can take longer than you expect. Get that, and it can be a bit pricey. But if you get your Grail stuff graded, the stuff that means the most to you, the stuff that's most expensive, I reckon.
It protects it really
exactly.
for me more than anything.
Yeah, you can get your UV protected cases. You can get thicker plastic. So I mean, obviously, the more information is on the website. And I don't know.
The price can go crazy though. As soon as you add UV, then you have a slightly thicker case by a mil or something like that.
I'll tell you know what, if I disturb myself, I think the only thing you need to be careful of with UK graders is when it comes to adding all your items in, when it comes to checkout, that's when the VAT is added, so your price can shoot up when it comes to checkout. But I'm not going to talk ill of UK graders, they are a good team of people, and they do a great job.
Yeah, I was going to say,
go on then.
Be a little wary of grading, this is where our political views...
Why?
He did mention this earlier to me a little bit.
Why should we be wary of grading?
Well, it's just, I think there's more of this stuff out there right now than what people think, and I think it's to explain it well. If you go on YouTube and go on the CU podcast, Ian and Pat, they one of their latest videos talk about it. Recently, there was a Mario 64 kart game for the Nintendo 64. Graded that went for 1.5 million, I believe, which is absolutely insane.
You've got that in your collection.
I wish.
It's just a case of grading companies and auction houses sort of being in cahoots, pushing the auctions up as high as they can, so then people will then, oh, I've got one of them, I'm going to go out and get it graded. And they don't divulge the records of how many of these are out there graded, so all these people are going out getting these things graded when there's more of them out there than what these people think, which then would obviously depreciate the value. But I shan't go on. Just, watch that podcast, CU podcast on the Mario 64 car. It's really interesting.
I'll tell you what though, I mean, if you go to Metropolis Toys, run by Chris, and you got Leicester Vintage Toy Store, they'll add up at a certain markup to what their prices are, and obviously when they get stuff graded, then you have to add up.
Well, I was talking to
will
Brixton
jump on price.
Buttons the other day, and he had all that Shiraz set. He's had it come into him. It's obviously that mint that he's sending it straight for grading before he sells it. So you find that with a lot of toy shops and stuff like that. If they land something nice, they're sending it in themselves and getting it graded before it hits the market.
Yeah.
But just to touch on what you were saying there, UKG, I didn't know this, the graders, they actually keep a record of what they've graded and people can view it.
Yeah, I don't think it's UKG that don't divulge it. I think it's the ones in America they don't divulge.
Because I've got here the Aliens Power Loader. My Verge has been signed by Newt and Ripley. Talking to a chap who had some other alien stuff off us, and he's been talking to us on our page for a good time. He actually informed me that he's got one graded, and me and him are the only two people that have got this loader graded by UKG. So there is records kept and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's another nice piece of mine.
Never got into that line. I never even knew it existed until I saw you collecting.
Yeah, it's easy. It's quite random, to be fair. We've got a Ripley there that's signed. But I do have pretty much every figure that was involved in this range, and the vehicles and stuff like that. You might see up the top there. There's a few bits and pieces, like the evac ship and stuff like that. But yeah, I pretty much own everything to do with the Aliens Wave. Another nice little thing I'm going to show you that's up here. This was only ever prototyped, and I don't think it was ever released onto the market, which is a carry case, which you got for a lot of figure lines over the years. But yeah, just your standard. Pretty easy to carry around in Nan's house or wherever you're going. But
where did you get it from?
I started talking to people on the Facebook pages for Kenner Aliens and Kenner Alien versus Predator and stuff like that, and I started finding out what was out there on the market, and basically this cropped up. This was in a discussion I was talking to someone about, and I started looking and managed to find a pretty mint one. So that's a nice little piece to have, and it was never at the production market as far as I know, all the information I found, so that's pretty cool. But I've got
one of the few items you got isn't signed as well.
Yeah.
You notice that we do talk a lot about signed products, and I know it's no one's cup of tea, but for a lot of the grails and a lot of the bigger pieces, a lot of the big celebs, I think it's quite nice to get stuff signed. There's one company that we used Monopoly a few times.
Especially during the lockdown and stuff like that, people haven't been able to go to the conventions and meet the people and get the signatures, so Monopoly tend to have been doing in-house. Yeah,
they do like a lot of signings, don't they? So they'll either take things to the celebs' houses, or what I know what they're encouraging now is people send products into Comic Cons, and I'll get things signed.
So we couldn't probably get to Ireland, or we probably couldn't get to Scotland for a Comic Con, so we could actually then send it in through Monopoly to get it signed at that event.
But I mean, I had that hoverboard. I've got a hoverboard, full-length prop hoverboard signed by Michael J. Fox, and Monopoly got it signed by Leo Thompson, Claudia Wells, James Tolkien, went signed by Christopher Lloyd.
I took it to London and then it's signed by Bob Gale.
Yeah, so there's only Biff that I'm missing now. Otherwise, I would have shown it, but I don't know. I'll show when it's
not good enough for Phil's collection.
Not good enough just yet. But yeah, so thanks to Monopoly that they did all the legwork and all that sort. So they are a good company, and the prices are pretty good as well, aren't they? But they will give you like authentication as well, so they give you like the Monopoly sticker. You can get certificates as well.
Just grabs that front there, we can show a Monopoly sticker. Grab that Predator.
Oh, the Predator mask. Which one? Oh, the Predator. So who signed this, Paul?
Well, I started off a while ago. This was actually made by a guy 10 years ago, something like that. Found it on eBay. Really, really good mould and everything. It's even got a number inside. and I'd love to find out who the guy was that made it. So if he's watching or he knows anyone that knows his signature, I got number 5. And I've had it a very long time, but over the years it's been signed by, I mean, we've got Danny Glover, Jesse Ventura, Peter Cullen, Carl Weathers, Bill Dukes. We have actually got, you got Ian Whiteley, who's the Scar Predator, and there is actually a Hicks signature on there to say that his money's on himself.
You say Peter Cullen. I know most people know Peter Cullen for Transformers.
He was Eeyore as well.
There you go. So he did the voice for Predator, didn't he?
Yeah. Not many people seem to know this fact, but when we met Peter Cullen, me and Phil, great bloke to meet.
Nice bloke, really nice bloke.
Bloke.
I met him at Liverpool.
He kind of sealed it for us when we were still in the queue and the kid before us was talking to him. He was only, how old?
So I'm 8 or 9, and he's quite a young lad.
Yeah. Interesting question he had for him, and we loved Peter Cullen's response.
Yeah, well, he wanted to be, he wanted to do voices in cartoons or films, didn't he, to get there. And you know, you get some celebrities which are a bit up their own arse, but Peter Cullen spent a lot of time with him, and I thought he was really nice, wasn't he? He's a top bloke, Peter Cullen is.
It was great to hear he got the role for Predator actually, because he said he rolled up at the studios for the interview for Predator. He said, I need to have a look at the creature that I'm going to be doing the voice for. But they refused to show him. They said, it can't be seen, it's not been released, we can't show you yet. And he was like, well, I can't do a voice for a thing I haven't seen. So they came out, bought him a still of the Predator, not the mass version.
On mass version. He said, look, an upside down crab, didn't he?
Yeah, or upside down lobster. Yeah. Off the cuff, he just done this sound, which and the bubbling and the cracking, and they hired him there on the spot. They said they loved it, and that became Predator's voice from there on. And he walks into the studios and made a bit of row, and yeah, there you go. But did you know he was same voice for Predator 2? Didn't get paid for the second film, even though they used the same voiceovers as they done for the first film, and he did. Yeah, he weren't happy about that, was he?
Yeah, it's not nice piece, eh?
Well, while we're on Predator, copy. I've got quite a few, but we're touching on to NECA now, so kick off with the first one. I mean, I don't personally want all the Predator kids going crazy with them now in NECA. There's so many. I mean, it started off, they just tickled them out, and it was pretty cool to see a Predator figure. So I've got a Peter Cullen one there. Like I said, there's the Monopoly sticker of verification to say that it was signed by him at the event. But I always like the Jungle Predator, just a nice piece to have. Unfortunately, getting these graded with the windows on, like you can do with them. So
yeah, don't you know what's going to cost you? Is you have to grade it with the window open, and you pay for twice the amount of the acrylic.
It is. It's the biggest.
So it becomes an expensive job. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah, another one on that list. Predator 2, Danny Glover. I've always liked the you cannot see the eyes of the demon till him come calling. And yeah, I'm going to put that on there. So yeah, I love those two pieces.
Yeah, it's one old ass bloke, and Danny Glover, but right legend.
Yeah, still kicks ass, dude. So what else have you got?
So I was going to talk about the toy fairs then. So we're going to go
where our appearances are this year and stuff like that. Where we're going to be?
Yeah, we are going to as customers. We're going to be at the Love of Horror. We'll be at the Telford Takeover. There's also
we are looking to get a table. We are looking to get a stand at the Telford one, so because it's local to us. So that's Wales Comic Con, Telford Takeover.
Yeah, but we have got a table booked for, is it Birmingham, is it?
NEC.
Yeah, NEC. That's the 3rd of October, so the toy collectors will be there. Me and Paul, some of our other contacts as well. Tim is hopefully coming as well. And we will be selling some of the, a lot of our signed items. So
we was going to save it till close to time, but our stand, you'll know we done Ronin. And we've got our Ghostbusters wave and stuff like that, and the Ronin, people constantly wanting one. So we're going to let you into a little secret. We've got 2 that we saved, and they're going to be our NEC Toy Fire exclusive. So don't message us, say, can we buy it now? It's going to be on the stand, at the show, and you'll be able to pick a Ronin up if you come and see us at.
Maybe some pulse rifles.
Yeah, we've got some pulse rifles, which you've seen in the feed before. And obviously there'll be some Ghostbusters stuff, so things that we've been sold out of, we saved a couple for these fairs, so you'll be able to grab things like that when you come and see us. Yeah, what else we got? Manchester. Probably using your phone while you're trying to do this.
Yeah, we've got Manchester, London. There's maybe Liverpool if that comes up, and we've got a couple of things
We're
planned.
doing
next year,
two in one weekend, which is going to be a bit of a killer for us. We're going to London, then back for the Wales Comic Con, so 2 days over that. What else we got? Well,
that's about it. I think,
have we got some pictures? Have we got some?
Yeah. So yeah, let's give this playing bill Ecto 1 away. Who's going to get it? We'll just update our feed at the moment.
Maybe have a YouTube channel coming soon as well. So
Yeah, that'd be nice to do.
probably start sticking the videos over onto that as well.
Yeah, that's easy to watch certainly.
Probably get it up on your phone easier than I can do it on here.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what we can do is we'll look back on the feed to save people waiting. We'll have a look at the pictures, and what we'll do is on the feed that we've got live on our Facebook, we'll comment on that, the person who's won it.
Yeah,
Does that sound okay?
we're looking forward to seeing your stuff, and like I say, we can only show you so much of what we've got. Last piece will show you. Don't really see these very often. I think Phil's seen one in Forbidden Planet or...
Yeah, Nostalgia, I think he's in Birmingham. Yeah. Unsigned, this was
A
obviously
lot of people
one
know that the Defender's sewer car, but I've been rooting round for quite a while and dragging this massive piece around Comic-Cons and things like that for quite a while.
That's signed by almost everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, we've nearly got full cast on there. We've got Mike Coulter at Telford, so he'll be dropping his on there. Luke Cage, so that's one of my nice pieces there. I'm trying to think who we've seen last on that. Daredevil, Top Guy, Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
And I got to meet Trinity from Matrix. I'm trying to think what her name is.
Well, she's hard, yeah.
Yeah, she's on there as well. So yeah, nice piece there. That's going to be going with me to Telford Comic Con, and then hopefully I can actually put it down and stop carting it around all over the place. But yeah, we're running out of
we're running out of time, so yeah.
So, but yeah, we plan on doing one of our comics. We've all got a really, really good comic collection as well. So, and like Tim mentioned, the gaming. So, there's loads to come for us. YouTube channel next, which is just steps away from being on. You'll probably catch these videos and our draw on our YouTube channel very soon.
Yeah, and if there's anything you want us to cover, feel free to let us know. We'll go on top for
Yeah,
you.
we're happy to talk to you about any of your questions and stuff. We might know a bit about it. And yeah, Tim's too busy watching Escape from New York at the moment.
Disgusting. I'm too busy polishing my boxed products.
Distracted. While those on, I'm distracted.
So when we're talking like comics next time, it's a nice piece that come the other day. Last Ronin, we waited a while for these, didn't we?
Ages.
Eastman, Bishop signed, nice pieces.
Yeah, we'll talk about the use of CGC next time.
Yeah, but this is where Phil will just walk in and go, yeah, you're Ronin shit, have a look at mine. And he's got literally the best set of these signed, which is the first release and stuff like that, so we'll just be sitting there going. So, there you go. Right.
Okay.
There you go.
So we'll be in touch with who the winner is of the Ecto 1.
We'll check your pictures, we'll put a feed on, we'll all have a look and see which ones we think are
good to go, yeah?
It's not necessarily going to be the most expensive piece because that's not important to us. It's more like the originality or the...
Yeah, what means the most to people.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Nice to see you all.
See you all soon. Keep collecting.
See you later, man.
That's it. Take care.